I decided, dark? I think sometimes the material dealt with is a little serious, but here will be a mix of the broccoli and the meat, as they say. If you're not an American, that may seem a weird analogy, so apologies to the British and other audiences, maybe, I don't know, tits or whatever it is. Anyway, so what has happened? Well, for the last year and a half, there was this very odd and radical shift between the critics and outsiders with the ex-Scientology community. It went from very hostile to, I say, much more tense. And one of the major causes, or people who they blame, is Zero Dark Tony. And one of the people he did research with was Dana of Rottingjewels. Now again, like anything, there was some good stuff, some bad stuff. But then Dana and Zero Dark Tony had their own internal schism, and Dana left very publicly, and they seem to go back and forth. And the last couple months have been especially tense, as both sides, I think, have thrown some very sharp jabs at one another. I am decidedly more pro-Dana than pro-Tony, but I do think both of them have a role to play that's very productive. And understanding just cults in general, and an insertion of a footnote here, I will expand upon this. One of the people that communicated in the Scientology community, in terms of the exes, was the McLaurys, a very interesting couple who have a very, very good YouTube channel where they dive into the kind of intelligence, I guess, secret world of Scientology. Hubbard, as well as David Miscavige. And Dana did some work with Virginia, though recently they had a big back and forth. I'm not sure why. It seemed that Virginia was questioning some of Dana's research methods, which you can do, that's fine. But then it kind of devolved into a loyalty test where Virginia thought that perhaps unknowingly that Dana fell under the spell of Scientology technology. I don't know why she thinks this. So it became kind of a standoff that Dana was supporting someone who helped her, Parker, and Virginia had suspicions about Parker, and it just went back and forth, back and forth. It was kind of weird. And now to top it off, we get to the good fun stuff where, in response, I guess, to all this stress, Dana and a friend decided to very publicly basically do Office Space. I didn't even know this. I mean, I like Office Space. I saw it years ago, like many people, fell in love with it. It's a very amusing, weird, black, dark comedy about office life in America. Apparently it speaks more broadly to other locations. In any case, there's a famous scene in Office Space where the main characters decide to just basically decimate a printer. And I didn't know this, but apparently it's been reenacted a couple of times. I'm like, oh, really interesting. I've never seen an actual parody in, quote, major films, although I do think Office Space is big enough that it's been referenced quite a few times. There's actually a great book on the 1990 cinema, and I'll try to do something on the Examining Kubrick site. Also, by the way, if you are interested, channel memberships are available for this channel, and I will be putting up extra content now and soon. So, what to make of it? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty amusing, though one of the issues with Dana and Dark Tony is that he's not paying back a loan. I just thought to myself, well, if Tony really did give this computer, you could have just sold it, or even broken the parts more gently and sold it off. But apparently Dana was scared that Tony would have put some spyware in the computer. And I'm like, I don't know, take it to an expert and debug it. It's just weird. She thought Tony was going to pull a CIA, I don't know, program on her to keep track of her. I don't know. It just seemed a little much. But hey, it's her thing to do. If it's a gift, you can do whatever you want with a gift. Nothing illegal here. It just felt, I don't know, it's funny, but I'm just like, there really was no need for this. But anyway, hey, she wants to take the Dark Tony gift and throw it in the trash. Hey, good on her. It just felt like a very decidedly odd response, but hey, that's me. But I do admire Dana. She's uncovered quite a few things with the Process Church and Scientology. But some people hope the research goes in this or that direction. It's going to be like, well, it'll go where it goes, and we'll have to just follow along and take what's productive, and what's destructive or divisive, well, we'll have to handle that in due time. So just a bit of a weird, amusing back and forth with Dana. So if you can, just check out her research. It's very intriguing. You can find her on Twitter as well as on YouTube, as you can do the same with me. Thank you for listening.